Hi, this is TJR. I recently purchased a new turntable because I decided I wanted to get back into the experience of enjoying vinyl. But one of the first things I began to encounter, or one of the first questions I began to ask myself was, well, what's the best way to clean my vinyl records? Now, I grew up in the vinyl era, but back then, I was a kid. Most of us did not have high-end turntables. We had cheap turntables. And when I first asked, well, how do you clean your records? This is what I was told. I was told to just let the needle play on the record. The needle's going to pick up all the dust. And then when it's done, just take the needle and blow on it. Blow the dust off. Or get your finger under there and just gently move the dust away. Which I'm sure just hearing that has given a few audiophiles an aneurysm right now. So I went on YouTube and began to search videos that would explain to me, the different ways that you can clean records. Now, of course, we've got these expensive machines you can buy. There's these vacuum machines that start at like $600, and some of them are even higher that you can buy, but that's just too expensive for me right now. There are some other machines you can buy that you do by hand, where you wash your records. They seem pretty cool. They're about like $69, $70. And I don't know, I might think about that in the future, but right now I'm primarily dealing with, new vinyl for the most part, maybe occasionally some used vinyl. And as I watched the different videos, I was just amazed at all the different techniques that people have. Everything from washing your records with warm water and dish soap to, using Windex. And to be honest, some of these techniques just kind of blow my mind. Some of the techniques sound pretty viable, but some of them I wonder how that's going to really affect the longevity of your records. Who knows? Now, when I bought my turntable on Amazon, it came with a special deal. I got an additional needle cartridge, and I got one of these little carbon fiber brushes. Now, I did watch one video where it was demonstrated that all you have to do is, run the turntable, let it spin, place this, gently on top of the vinyl, let the brushes go across the record, and then just move the brush away to dispel, the dust and dirt. And I've seen other videos where people say, oh, you should never, run the turntable while you're doing that. You should just brush lightly with the, the disc still, and always just go with the grooves. Never brush against the grooves. So what I realize is there is no real wrong or right method at this point. No one really knows whether method A is better than method B, whether method A may have long-term harmful effects or method B won't. We don't really know. And if you can afford to get one of these machines, great. But I really can't afford that right now. So I've kind of come up with my own technique that works for me, and maybe it'll work for you. And that's why I'm doing this video here. Once again, remember that I'm primarily dealing with new vinyl, a little bit of used vinyl. Even new vinyl has to be cleaned because dust is on it usually from the moment you first pull it out of the shrink wrap. I've pulled out records, and you maybe got some debris from the paper sleeve or just dust that got on it while it was being manufactured. So I tried using the carbon fiber brush both ways. I tried, running it across letting the turntable run underneath it, and then moving the brush away. I tried just simply brushing, with the vinyl still. All I found was that I was just simply moving the dust around. I wasn't really getting rid of it. So what I started to do is I put the record on the turntable, but I don't turn it on. And then, in the same way as if you're sweeping a floor, you know how you sweep the floor and you sweep it all into one little mound? I begin to sweep around the turntable, and I go with the grooves until I get it all swept into one spot. And by the end of it, I should just have like a line of dust and debris. Hopefully you can see this on this video that I'm shooting right now. Now, I also have one of these disc cleaning kits. I'm sure you've seen this. This is the little, suede brush here. There's this fluid that you put on here like this, and you wipe it across the turntable. And once again, I've seen people say, well, you should let the turntable run, put the fluid on this brush, and then just let it the record run underneath it like that. And I've also seen people say in videos that you shouldn't do that. Don't let the record run. Just simply apply the fluid and then wipe across the turntable, once again following the grooves. Once again, it felt to me like all I was doing was just moving the dust. So after I've gotten all the dust into one place with this carbon fiber brush, I apply the fluid to this. I'm pretty generous with it. And then I take this and I bring it up to the line of dust that I have, and I do a little motion where I just simply, right before the dust line is, I just bring the brush up like this and let the fluid grab the debris, and then wipe the debris off of the brush here. And I notice these come with these little, I guess it's like a little mini carbon fiber brush. I am guessing this is supposed to be used for the disc, but what I do is I use this to wipe against this, away from the turntable, to wipe off the dust that I've just wiped off. But I find if I use this technique, I'm not just moving the dust. First I get into one place, and then I just simply, by doing sort of a quick upward motion against the vinyl, I'm gentle, but I do, it's a quick little movement. I actually lift the dust off, and it stays on the brush. And then I wipe the brush off with this little guy. Sometimes I just simply use my finger and just do like this. I find that doing this actually lifts the debris off the record rather than just move it around. Now, of course, when I get a new vinyl record, the first thing I do is I pull it out. I do this cleaning method, and this is my preparation for digitizing it, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to digitize that record and USB it into the computer. There is a software that I use that I purchased at the Apple App Store called Vinyl Studio that works very well for digitizing your vinyl records. I recommend that. But the first thing I'm going to do when I get a new vinyl is I'm going to do this clean prep, then digitize it. That way I can burn a CD of it, and that way I can also just put it in my iTunes so that I can play it on my mobile device as well. The vinyl that you're looking at in this demonstration is a used vinyl that it was actually pressed back in the 80s. It's, for the most part, very clean. There has been some dust and debris, and so that's what I'm cleaning off of it. Once again, I'm primarily dealing with new vinyl, a little bit of used, but even if your vinyl is new, more than likely you're going to have to clean it first before you play it first. You don't want to play your records dirty. You don't want a bunch of dust getting on your needle. That's not good for the needle. That's not good for the record. And once again, even after you've played the vinyl for the first time, when you take it back out again, and each time you take it out, I think it's always a wise idea to just give it a quick inspection, look at it. Do you see any like heavy debris, any heavy dust specks? And I find that this technique I use is great just for removing, just maybe you just see a couple of, large dust specks you want to just get rid of. And this technique works really good because you can just go for that one little spot and that's it. So that's my technique. What do you think? What are your techniques? Would love to hear. Thanks for watching. Bye.